Before we get started in the whole official meeting here, I would like to make a presentation to Mr. Samir. Hello, dog. I didn't see you there. Samir Chef. He runs the Friendly Food Market out on Park Road. I want to present the Civilian Service Award to him based on Officer Garapoli's recommendation during the investigation. This award is presented to Samir Chef on September 10th, 2019. The Wyomissing Police Department presents the Civilian Service Award to Samir Chef for assistance by a civilian to aid police in the performance of an investigation. On Wednesday, April 24th, 2019, Mr. Chef was working at the Friendly Food Mart located at 1000 Park Road North in the borough. During this time, Mr. Chef observed 3 subjects attempting to break into several Pennsylvania Skills gaming machines. He recognized the 3 as suspects in a prior theft from the business, as well as other businesses in the borough and in West Reading, totaling over $20,000 in loss. Mr. Chef immediately reported this to the Wyomissing investigator Garapoli. Wyomissing and West Reading officers responded immediately, took 3 into custody. Samir Chef took an active role in getting criminals off the street. His keen observation and quick actions resulted in clearing similar crimes in 8 different jurisdictions in Pennsylvania, not just ours. So, congratulations, sir. Say anything you can.
Well, I just did my job, I guess.
Very well, I must add.
You know, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Hey, Courtney, there's the box that came in. Thank you.
Before we go any further, I'd like to inform everybody there was an executive session before tonight's meeting to discuss personnel issues and also real estate problems. Any public comments this evening?
Yes. I'll just go ahead and get signed in real quick here. Is that my authorization to go ahead and go?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. My name is Mashuri Dunbar, and I am here with the Office of Representative Chrissy Houlihan, who is our congressperson for 6th District. And I just kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about our office, what we do, how you can access us. Go ahead and pass these around if you wouldn't mind. Take one. But basically, we have 2 offices. We have one here in Reading in the City Hall building on the 2nd floor, and we have one in Westchester. We do hold evening hours on Tuesday and Thursday until 7 p.m. Otherwise, we're open from 9 to 5. We basically handle casework for any issue with any federal agency. That is part of the congressperson's promise to the district, is that we will help you all resolve your issues. So Medicare, Social Security, Customs and Immigration, VA healthcare, IRS, pretty much anything that you can think of involving a federal agency is something that we can help you with. People call us also just for general questions about things happening in their municipalities, so we like to want to build a relationship with you all as well to make sure that if you all have needs, then you can reach out to us and we can figure out how we can best facilitate those. Another service that we provide is writing support letters for grants. So if you're looking for federal grants, please call our office. That's something we can absolutely help you with, especially if it is benefiting our district. What's another thing I can tell you guys? We want you to let us know if you want us to vote a particular way on a bill that might be sitting on the House floor or something that's going on in the news. For example, gun control. We've gotten a lot of calls about that. If you're for or against gun control or any of those types of issues, we want to hear from you because a congresswoman does take all of that into account. She wants to know from her constituents, no matter what side of the aisle you are, how you feel about the issues, and that will help her determine how she votes. We do try to respond to every piece of correspondence that comes in. Since January, I'll say we've received about 50,000 pieces of correspondence from our constituents. So far, we've responded to about 30,000 of them. So we are working our way through, and it is our definite goal to make sure that we do reach out to every single one of you if you have contacted our office, and especially if you've asked for a response back. So those are just a few of the things that we do, but we are accessible to you. I've got business cards if anybody wants one. But on these palm cards that are going around, they do have our office hours, our contact information for all 3 offices, so Westchester, Reading, and DC. So it's got our phone numbers and our addresses. You can go to our website, you can submit something there. If you want the Congresswoman to attend an event or if you want to have a meeting with her, you can also do that through our website. So, I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Does she support impeachment?
Start at the beginning.
Right, that's a very big question, we get a lot of calls about that, and her stance is making sure that we conduct a full due diligence into the investigation and into the procedures. So it's a very big decision for our country to make, and she wants to make sure that every avenue is exhausted to make sure that we are on the right path for that. So if you haven't heard her come out in the news and say she's for or against impeachment, that means we don't have that answer either. We're just very much going through the due diligence of the House process. Anybody else with a not so difficult question? Okay, I'm gonna leave, yeah, so, yep, I'll leave those there, and if you guys need anything, please give us a call. Got 17 of them with 2 phones. Thank you very much. You guys waiting for me to leave the carry?
We're admiring your dog.
Oh, well, thank you. He is with me everywhere I go. He's my personal assistance dog, so if you come to the office and see me, he will be there. Right.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Good evening. Anyone else? Yes. Would you please state your name, please, for the record? Would you state your name for the record?
Gregory Kudayarsky, I believe you know me already. 41 Cardinal Road. I am talking on behalf of myself and my wife, Marina Tilic. During the last 3 months, we had several requests to the borough by missing officials. These requests were only done to address the safety of issues that they experienced. They were surprised to find that the borough officials are not doing their duty to enforce the existing borough code. And this will be about borough code. The first issue is related to Ordinance 1403, signed in June this year, that installed 25 feet of no parking zone at 47 Cardinal Road. Chapter 15 of the code is still not updated on this ordinance, and the no parking zone signs are not properly moved to the ordinance mandated position. We emailed several times and didn't get any particular reply when it will be implemented. And the residents of 47 Cardinal Road can suffer severe problem when extreme respondents will not be able to get to them, as our mayor stated. And I think it's a very serious issue and we need to address it. And I don't know when I'm going to implement and update chapter 15, first part. Second part. There is an overgrowth vegetation at the corner of Cardinal Road and Thrush Road that blocks the line of sight for the drivers nearing the sharp corner downhill at the stop sign. The oncoming vehicles are not visible in such a problem for any, is a problem for any driver, but even more for the new drivers, which we have in our household and the household across the street. First, we got a reply that the vegetation will not be ordered to be removed because it probably was there before the code was changed. This part of code last time was changed in 1997. The vegetation is bushes and small trees. They are definitely less than 20 years old. Then we were informed that the board requested the craft code to look into this issue. Based on the report from the craft codes, the board found that nothing has to be done at the corner of Thrush and Cardinal. Of course, nothing can be done because the study was conducted 150 feet away from the problem area. The report of the Infrastructure Committee meeting from July 15 was presented to the Borough Council and approved last time. Having 4 pictures, which we requested through the RTK request from this study, we compared to the pictures that we emailed to the board, and they are completely different. The first circle is the study area. The second circle is a problem area. And I believe Michelle knows it because I first emailed these two pictures to her, and she saw it, and then she saw the pictures taken by the craft code, and she is happy with it. Then there was a meeting of the committee, which is included, the result is included here in this page, that based on the craft code showing various angles of the intersection in the approach to Thrush and Old Mill Road, which is not a problem at all. Steve Burner made a motion, seconded by Tom Moore, to recommend council dismiss the complaints received about the overgrowth and vegetation at 1115 Thrush Road. All in favor. This is the vegetation, which is completely not according to the borough code. But nobody is going to enforce the code because the owner has to cut the vegetation only if he receives the notice from the board, which board doesn't want to send to him. In fact, there should have been no studies, and I told about you, conducted, because the code is not referring to the traffic problem when it comes to overgrowth vegetation on the 8 feet of the public land adjacent to the property. I received such note about months ago without any referral to the traffic problem. I just had to go and cut it, which I did. The owner must clean it, but this is not an ordinary owner. It is, I don't know to say the name, anybody can check who is the owner of 1115 Thrush Road. The conclusion. What we have in the borough now, we have borough code that is not enforced. Instead, everything I mentioned is done at the mercy of the high-level officials. If you are friends with them, everything would be done for you. If not, they would create an excuse to fend you off. This study was an excuse. We requested a document or protocol that describes how the ordinances are implemented. The request was denied, as there is no such document. This is the reason of all the troubles in the borough. There is no accountability of the borough government in enforcing the code. Isn't it a shame that Chapter 9 of the Borough Code, named Code Enforcement, consists of one page, and this page has no text in it except the name and reserved for the future enhancements. And if you go to website of our wonderful borough, you will see this page. This is how we enforce our code. Whenever you want, you government, you enforce it. If you don't want, you don't enforce it. And this is all the problem that we have. I can give you another example. I will not put it here, just for you to know. Imagine, there is no parking zone installed by the police temporarily for the construction project. And there are 2 cars parked in no parking zone. One belongs to one neighbor, not me. Second belongs to other neighbor, not me. The first neighbor is calling the police to the other car because he or she thinks that this is a violation. And the police comes. I was in meetings of this visit. And the police addresses the other neighbor and tells him, move your vehicle. Why? Why? The other car is excluded. No, it's only you. They are allowed. There is nothing in the borough code that allows one neighbor to stay in the no parking zone and another to leave the no parking zone or get a ticket. Somehow the borough likes this situation. It is up to the official to decide. Can you stay or not? If there is a law implemented by the borough, any ordinance, anything that tells how we govern here, then it will be no problem. We just had an alliance to the flag, and the last word was justice. Please give us justice. Thank you. And by the way, thank you for allowing, for promising me no parking zone around my house. Thank you. I'm waiting for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
summer, I got this from the Pennsylvania Boroughs Association. My children were pleased, so I'll just pass it around.
Cool.
Nice.
Congratulations, Paul.
You don't know what it says.
He says you're a swell guy.
We miss you at the finance committee.
Paul started on the finance committee when they were still using abacuses.
I mean, you said it worked too, what are you talking about?
That was slide moving.
So it's like-
Yeah, but they were always right to the penny.
Exactly.
Mitch Chestock of Brandywine Road. I represent Lincoln Avenue and Brandywine Road and the ongoing sewer runoff issues. Back in August, I requested a open record request concerning the retention ponds if you go up Lincoln Court on the right-hand side, they're between the backyards and 222. Extension was requested because the title search was being done. I granted that, I had no problems until I think August 28th. They came in August 25th. Thank you very much for everyone who participated in that. Now, upon review of that document that I received, which was from the Berks County Courthouse, there was an agreement between, I think, Berks Development Incorporated, who did the actual development up there, and the Borough of Wyomissing. This is back in 1990. That document was reviewed by myself. Of course, I'm no lawyer, I only had one law course at Penn State, but several other residents, that's in our group of about 20, they came back with the same conclusion. And based on that agreement, that is borough property. Okay, it was granted to the borough. I then went to the borough, talked to an employee. I was told that in the draft that will be coming to the board for infrastructure, October 20th, that document would be in there. Okay. My question is, why do we, as citizens, have to wait for over a month when, in plain English, it has, the borough is responsible for that, and we can't get a simple answer of, follow-up would be, is it being maintained? Those retention ponds, are they the depth that were defined, the width, and things of that nature? And if it is borough property, you know, are the citizens going out and maintaining it themselves? I mean, someone at the end has a vegetable garden. So, it's a real simple question. It's borough property. Why is it so hard to get an answer about maintaining it and everything else? I mean, it's not, it's part of the water runoff. If those retention, at least will hold some water, the water won't constrict that. There's other questions, so I'll follow up with infrastructure, but that's a borough question. It's borough land, and we as citizens should know, why isn't it being maintained if it's private?
Let Mr. McCarthy answer that question.
So Mitch, all of that information about maintenance and volume and all that will be in our report. As far as the ownership of that land, the title company that was hired to examine that has indicated that is not owned by the borough. That, as well as that information will be in our report. So,
Well, according to the last page.
well, I'm going by what the title company said, who is full of attorneys and
Well, I
specialists and who owns what and who has what rights. That's why the borough authorized us to employ them. So we had a concrete, definitive answer from the title company, who is the expert in who owns what and what rights are over that land, as well as ownership. And they are telling us that that land is owned by the lot owners, and that the maintenance of those ponds on the portion on each lot is the responsibility of that particular lot owner, which has been historically how that's been dealt with. I think it was 2 years ago, Michelle had an issue where somebody built a pool and filled in was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they filled in a portion of that, and we had to go out and they regraded it. Because they are responsible for the maintenance of that. They graded it in such a manner that the water was going on the downstream owner below them, like the way it was not supposed to. And they responded and had a contractor come out and do the work. So, I mean, I don't know who you've had look at it. We have to trust the experts at the title company that we hire.
I wasn't made aware of that they looked at that actual document.
I mean,
So,
we're
in here-
doing tons
so-
of things, and the borough does not have everything that we have until October 20th. So there's tons of things that are in our office that we're compiling, examining,
I'm
photos,
just looking at
field
this-
visits.
This one particular thing of the detention ponds.
Well, we're looking
So
at
if
everything
the
in
title-
totality, not little isolated incidents.
I
We need to
understand.
look at the drainage area in total, identify anything that's not maintained properly, has been altered, whether through natural occurrences or third-party acts that they shouldn't have done that have negatively impacted any of the stormwater features, and then what can be done to lessen the flow, coming to the pipe systems, or if necessary, what type of relief needs to be contemplated to pass the flows through where possible, to increase capacity through increased inlets if necessary, or pipes where necessary, or regrading off-road areas. And this is not, there's no silver bullet that is gonna solve the problem at Lincoln and Brandywine. This has to be looked at in detail. It's a very complicated situation that you have over in your neighborhood, we all know that. But we have to have the time to examine it in order to be able to give council the necessary information that they need to make a decision on how to move forward with potential solutions.
So they gave you a written document of their review of that agreement.
Yes. They gave us a determination of the ownership of the pipes in your rear yard, as well as the basins up in the 2000 block of Lincoln. And their determination was the 2000 block of Lincoln, those basins, the pipes, and everything that goes with them are owned by the individual lot owners. The pipe that goes from Lincoln and Logan down your backyard to Reading Avenue and ultimately discharges in the rear of the Reading Avenue properties is owned by the borough. So that is the official interpretation that the title company has given us on those two ownership and maintenance issues. And the borough is responsible to maintain the large culvert, that 55 by 78, I forget exactly what it is, but it's big. That is borough maintained and owned.
So in your draft document, you will have review what the responsibility of those property owners
Oh, yeah,
are for
definitely.
the detention ponds.
Yes. Yep. But that'll all be clearly spelled out there, and we will look at how they look versus, I mean, at this point in the thing, we're not surveying them, so if somebody put 2 shovelfuls of dirt in there, we're not gonna know that. But if it was supposed to be 6 feet deep and it's now 4, we're gonna be able to assess that at this point in the analysis.
Well, I look forward to reviewing that document. I apologize, I was not aware of that, but the last page that was given over to the borough. Now, there might be another document that superseded that. I'm not sure.
Well, if you have something you'd like to furnish to us, we'd be more than happy to, I mean, if you have that document,
Well, yeah,
and you wanna
I'll
get it to
show you
Pat or
that.
Jim or me, I'll be more than happy to send it to the title company and have them look at it
Well,
initially. They
you
found
know, if they went through, it was plain to us, but of course.
I mean, it was easy to find out the pipe, the big pipe, because I told them to check your deed first, and it was in your deed. So, they didn't have to look too hard to find the pipe.
All it says borough on the pipe, I looked.
Well, but I knew your name and address, so I said, check Mitch's property first, because I know he's got the pipe in his backyard.
All right, thank you for your time. And I will send you that document
Great.
of where our interpretation.
Yeah, send me what you were looking at, we'll pass that on to them, to see if it's anything different than what they discovered.
Okay?
Mhm, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments?
I'd like to make a comment. You know, Mr. Jadick, at the last fire and police meeting, you called me a bigot, and that pissed me off. So, I went home and I got a dictionary when I graduated from high school in 1969, and I looked up bigot in the dictionary. And a bigot is someone who is intolerant of somebody else's views. or a group of people's views. Well, I think that makes me a bigot, because you three guys are sitting right there. You've wasted thousands of hours of police, staff, council, committee time, and all you have to do is get in the middle of Cardinal Road and shake hands and just say, we're gonna bury the hatchet. I am tired of dealing with your, let's say, bullshit. And that's all I have to say.
Can I answer?
Sure.
First of all,
And I talked to
I
you
am
at
not,
length the other day.
first of all, I am not the part of the dispute. And I told you several times, and still I was in the papers, official papers, as if I am the part of this issue. I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, Mr. John threatens me, and I have to fan him.
Shake his hand and let it go.
Then,
Take
may
your
I
cameras
answer your
down.
other question, dear Mr. Forgot your name, sorry. My name is Mr. K, no, my last name is so long. You asked me, why did it happen? The house is standing here like 80 years already. And only when you came there, somebody wrong had happened, yes?
Somebody
That,
what?
the problem I described with my neighbor only happened when I came here. I told you the previous owners were rich people. I'm not owning any company, so my neighbor can abuse me. And may I have another question to you? In the 100 years of the Borough of Wyomissing, there were only 2 killings of the people here. And the last one was several months ago. And he was Russian guy, though he's not Russian, but it was in the newspapers he's Russian. And it was on your watch, right? You hate me for this, okay? Because I am asking the question that is not relevant to you. But it shows something. It shows something.
10,400 people in
It is
this borough,
your.
and we're wasting all our time talking
Yes,
about.
it is not wasting. You're not doing your duties.
Thank you for the
wasting.
wasting, sir. Thank you for the wasting.
And I
We're a
agree
waste of
with my
time
ne-
for
I
you.
agree
Thank
with my
you for
neighbor.
that.
Ne-
Thank you for that
You know,
designation.
you showed your face now. That's it.
Yes, and by the way, you're not only a bigot, you're also xenophobe. We're both not American,
I'm not
and you just hate us.
All right, let's, that's enough. Let's move on to the,
Tom, on a positive note here, that award that Paul Glass sent around the table, you all saw, the rest of the audience ought to hear, was recognizing him by the Pennsylvania Boroughs Association for 45 years of service to this community. He has served as a council member, as treasurer, member of finance, and it's 45, and planning commission, it's 45 years and counting. So congratulations, Paul. Well deserved.
when I came to work for the borough in 1966, Paul was just a young guy who was still at Cartech, running around in a suit and being here, taking care of business. Remember those days, Paul? A long time ago. Barely.
That's good.
May I have a motion to receive all the reports for tonight? A second? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. The council meeting minutes from August 13th, 2019 are in front of you. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? All those in favor of accepting them as written, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Consulting engineers report, Mr. McCarthy.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Well, I was gonna briefly give an update of the storm report, but I think in answer to Mitch's question, I did that. So,
Just starting it off.
no, that's fine, Mitch. But that was the only thing I was gonna talk about. Everything else is, under one of the other committee reports. So we've got most of the analysis work. The televising company did get through the big pipe out there and some sanitary sewer. There's a couple more sections they have to get done. But we're continuing on with the analysis everywhere else.
those in favor of accepting the Borough Engineers report, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Police Chief and Mayor's report, Chief Beal.
Pretty much everything there is self-explanatory. If anybody has any questions, I'll make an attempt at answering them.
So, Steve, how many intoxicated females want to get in the wax?
I believe it was one.
Yeah, she got a ride home, but she also got a ticket for her. There's a citation on top of that. We don't get free
Never
rides.
mind about my ride.
That's right.
Just forget about it.
Free rides.
I understand this happened with her once before.
Yes.
That's it.
Somebody with a loaded gun and an unlocked car hits us.
Yeah, that's a.
We wonder why there's
Yeah.
more guns out in the street.
Yeah.
All the laws in the world aren't gonna help that.
No. But this just happens to come along too. It's, we had a fraud back in April, May, and perpetrated via the internet. And it kind of takes a back seat because these things are impossible to find, track these things down. The search warrants at this point, we managed to trace the IP address to Reunion Island, which is a small island in the middle of the ocean off the coast of Madagascar. So, when we catch this person, I don't know if you want to authorize a trip for us to get them. That's how sophisticated these things are, when we bounce them off of computers all over the place. It makes it impossible to find these people. And I think also the article on Paul Bauer with the one that they blew the dust off that regular fence to go over that case, where they were stealing the devices from Samir Sports.
Oh, yeah.
And there we got lucky because he caught them when they went for a cup of coffee while they were pulling the scam down.
Great job by the detectives.
Yeah.
All those in favor of accepting the police chief and mayor's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Fire commissioner, Mr. Jenks.
Yeah, you have the report in front of you, just get a quick synopsis for the month of August. There were 100 calls for service in the borough. 48 of those were EMS calls. 5 of those were fire calls, resulting in no damage. Anyone have any questions on the report?
All those in favor of accepting the fire commissioner's report, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Infrastructure, Tom.
Yep, okay, committee, on page 1 there at the bottom, the committee, is recommending the council approve the engineering flood and drainage analysis work dated August 12th. And I guess we have to officially approve that.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll make that motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, the code enforcement officer information on the back of that page at the bottom. The committee has recommended the council grant a waiver from chapter 21 street and sidewalks to approve the raising of the public sidewalk in front of the property between approximately 1.5
Yeah.
inches to 2 inches, and to raise the elevation of the driveway apron, driveway, over 8 inches, and that was at 1730 Reading Boulevard, Dr. Sweets residence, and I will make that motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it.
Okay, and further down there on the streets, the improvement, the recommendation, the council approve payment application number 6 in the amount of $42,373.99, to Atlantis C. Deck and Sons, Inc., subject to the dirt work and seeding being completed by our meeting. So I guess I'll ask that thumbs up, and so I'll make that motion.
Second. We have a second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon? Yes. Council President Wall?
Yes.
Okay, under street improvement project, recommendation by the committee to council to approve payment application number 4 in the amount of $347,806.04 to Ronnie C. Folk Paving, Inc. And I will make that motion.
Second.
Your second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks? Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Okay, involving the paving over at the Wellington Boulevard area, the committee is recommending the council approve a change order number 3 in the amount of $6,455.00. And that was to repair correct me if I'm wrong here, Jim, a weak spot in the, I guess, underneath the ground there.
And a sinkhole.
And a sinkhole, and the repairs to the
trail.
dam, I guess, at the. to the
Where it washed out
trail.
after that heavy storm.
Right, the parkland washout from the storm, and I'll make that motion.
Second. Do a motion in a second. Roll call, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Okay, under Green Light and Go, the committee is recommending the council approve payment of application number 5 to Telco in the amount of $67,687.20. And I will make that motion. That's ongoing, I guess, right?
Well, actually, the PennDOT inspection was, the final PennDOT inspection was yesterday. So that's, all the work's done now. We have one more payment app to process and then submit the reimbursement to PennDOT for the matching funds.
Okay,
Great.
all right, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right.
Roll call, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
We also have application payment number 6, also to Telco in the amount of $36,669.15 for the same project, and I will make that motion.
Second.
Do a motion in a second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Okay, and finally, also to Telco, the committee is recommending council approve change order number 4 in the amount of $2,855.00 for 4 pedestrian push buttons and extra cable, which I think was an adjustment that they had to make for the construction of that, right?
That was for the push buttons and the extra cabling.
Where's that at?
Van
And Reed and,
Park.
Park, yeah.
Van Reed, Mark, okay.
And I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Lennon?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Okay, and on the bottom of the next page into the top, the committee is recommending the council approve a quote from Construction Masters LLC to install new guardrail Parkside Drive north of the Stonehouse tennis courts, to replace, well, I guess I'm gonna call it rotted wood, Jim,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word there, or that is the word, I guess. It makes it obviously dangerous with any car that may deviate slightly there, not going down the hill into the tennis courts would not be a nice thing. So we're gonna make that a little sturdier there.
Especially if you're playing tennis.
Yeah, right. We're gonna make that a little sturdier there at the cost of $54,814.25 to construct. Construction Masters LLC, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Partner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember James?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon? Yes. Council President Moll?
Yes.
And we missed a page.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Right here,
You're breaking into that cool spot. You know, that's,
I have a different page.
here you want.
Should start with Fox Brewing at the top.
Yeah.
You got Mike.
Maintenance contract with,
Yep.
yes, there you go, Spring Township, that's the one.
Yes.
This is the,
To the right.
Okay, application number 3 from Dolan Construction. Committee is recommending payment number 3 in the amount of $54,725.44. And I'll make that motion.
Second.
your motion and a second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Partner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember James?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon? Yes. Council President Moll?
Yes.
Okay, and the other one that wasn't there was the annual maintenance contract. Maintenance contract with Spring Township is, the committee was recommending to council to review and approve on behalf of the borough the Spring Township specifications for emergency maintenance contract. And I'll make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That's all a lot of paper.
And sale of vehicles.
And then we have a sale, last one here.
Last one, sale of
Sale of
vehicles,
vehicles.
right? And that would be, the committee is recommending the council to approve the selling of 2 leaf pickers, a dump truck, a broom box, and a police vehicle on municipal bid. And I will make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Partner?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember James?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon? Yes. Council President Moll?
Yes.
That's what a broom box is.
That's for a skid steer that picks up the asphalt after we mill it there.
Got it.
Skid steer attachment.
It's the broom.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting the infrastructure report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Recreation Board, Steve.
Okay, the rec board met on August 20th, here at Borough Hall, and Rob, I'll ask you for some fill-ins here, but, we had some tree damage, or some damage to some equipment at Happy Hollow. I assume that's all been repaired at this point?
Yeah, it's all set to go. We're gonna hang the swings, Thursday.
Okay, and I was at the Mausoleum Field the other day, and I noticed everything was in there also, so
Yes.
that has been done. The summer concert series, was, in our determination, well received, except for maybe the last one that had pretty low attendance. So we're gonna work on, with the sponsor, maybe, changing the feel of the movies. Moonlight swims and the Christmas in July, at the pool were well attended and had very positive feedback. Playground committee, I'm not gonna read all this stuff, because some of them include flex days, but, Happy Hollow, we've had some issues with some non-playground participants playing on the playground during playground-only times, so we had to give some steerage to the counselors on how to handle that, and obviously, if need be, to bring
get involved. We're also gonna bring forward to, the finance committee some changes, in the fee structure for the pool, as well as, adding some sibling discounts and some fees to the playground. One of the things we have found this year is the playground at the pool has not, been very well attended and, probably overstaffed and underattended. So we're gonna be making some changes for that for the next upcoming season, which will be a good 9 months away. And then we will address the fees with the finance committee. And then later on in the meeting, we're gonna have a ordinance that we're looking to get amended. And the bottom line is the current language is exclusionary and prevents the borough from applying for state grant funding for any projects in the parkland. But basically, it says that we're not allowing any non-resident use of the facilities, which they always do anyway. So this would, by amending it, will allow us to apply for some grants. Did I do that justice? We did see some other proposals. We got a proposal, or at least two. The board is looking at a fitness station that we could put somewhere in the borough. Obviously, we're gonna take a peek at where that would be. The cost of that would be $120,000, but obviously it's something that we're just looking forward to getting some ideas and building on the bike trails and all that other good stuff that's going on in the borough. That's it. Oh. Okay, apologize. I would like to make a motion to recommend the council to approve the advertisement and adoption of ordinance 1406, 2019.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That is it.
All those in favor of accepting the recreation board report, please signify by saying aye. Refuse and recycling, Bill.
Yes, the Refuse and Recycling Committee met on August the 21st. Just a couple of highlights. With the help of Melissa, she has developed revising the Talking Trash publication and proposing that be a pull-out insert, which will be placed in the citizens' newsletter. And then that can be pulled out and hung on refrigerators or wherever. And that should be a cost savings to the borough between $1,000 and $2,000. The only other item is through a suggestion from a borough resident. We have gone on the borough website and put out reminders as to when to place your items for the individual haulers, basically the night before, not having them out for a week at a time.
Well, we did talk about also, I think, maybe changing the food, the brush, things like that, they were on Wednesdays. People do their work on the weekends, and they don't put them out on the curb. So I think we're taking a look at maybe see if it's better paid for the collection of that, so it's not, people do want to get out when they're done, they put it out on the curb, and that's out there for 3 or 4 days, so.
Yeah, like trying to get the yard waste stuff put out on pick up Monday.
Makes sense.
Right.
I forgot about that, thank you. That's all I have on that.
All those in favor of accepting the Refuse and Recycling Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Personnel, Tom.
Okay, under public session here, committee is recommending by resolution the borough handbook regarding medical benefit policy for non-union borough employees, effective January 1st, 2020, as presented in the borough manager's handout. And so make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
approval of the 2020 non-union borough employee medical benefits to include health plan, this is for Capital Blue PPO 250 with an employee contribution to the medical insurance at a rate of 5.5% of the premium for single and family coverage, a $4,000 fee in lieu of coverage, and an HRA card in the amount of $1,500. And I will make that motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That's what I have.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the personnel committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Yes, Fire and Police Committee met on August the 26th. Just some of the highlights here. There was a motion made and second to appoint the borough manager to review a no parking zone request at 41 Cardinal Road to determine such zone needs to be enacted. Motion of that did pass 3-2 vote. Those findings will be discussed at the September Fire and Police Committee meeting. Update on the new aerial truck from Pierce Manufacturing. Chief Hackman with 2 others went out to Pierce. That was last week, Pat, right?
Yes, sir.
And to do a pre-engineering meeting. I haven't heard anything more on that. Western Berks Ambulance reported they responded to 246 calls for service within the borough. Under the police department, there was a motion made and second to approve the borough solicitor to prepare a resolution for the police department hiring application of $45 and recommend council ratify at the September council meeting. And I will make that motion. And then,
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
okay, along with that, I do have resolution number 2019-15, a resolution of the Borough Council, the Borough of Wyomissing establishing an examination fee for entry-level police officers pursuant to the Police Civil Service Commission rules and regulation in the amount of $45. And I will make that recommendation.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And I believe that is, yes,
All those in favor of accepting the fire and police committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Economic development, John.
Chris, do I need to make a motion to approve the delegation of the authority to Michelle to get approval for the logo?
We should ratify that, it's already happened, but.
Make a motion to ratify that.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So we also have, we talked about 4th Street, and we had Senator Judy Schwank and your representative Mark Gillen was out at Sly Fox, and we took a tour of UGI Energies, the Reading Hospital offices. It was very informative, and I think it was a good thing for our elected officials to see what it was. They've seen, Michelle and myself and Jim, have plans in their offices or whatever, but, they're just seeing it and touching it. Was a nice day, so that was a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. Michelle's conjuring up a Sly Fox fundraising party, which will be held at Sly Fox on November 9th. And I think that'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing for us and for them.
It will definitely be a good thing for us.
That's what we're worried about. The master plan study update, we were supposed to have a meeting last Friday or something,
Yes.
and then they're not quite ready for us. We talked about tax incremental financing, and I haven't read that information. But we have a guest coming to the next economic development meeting, so it's all about it. And towards the improvement district, we're having a hearing on that shortly. That's all I have.
All those in favor of accepting the economic development report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Have it. Why don't we do that, resolution 2019-14, John? That's an intermodal here. Do that one.
Okay. I move we resolve council, authorizing official action and requesting a Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development multimodal transportation funding grant. I make that motion. It's important to the Fourth Street project.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Next is finance administration, Greg.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. We had our meeting September 3rd. And there wasn't a lot to discuss, just updates on the current funding situation, where we are with cash balances, total cash balance just slightly over $11 million, $11,458,000. $10,800,000 of that is currently invested in reserves, interest-bearing reserves. And we're going to, of course, the fire apparatus will be funded, that was at 1 point, did that check go out? Yeah, okay, so
Yes.
at 1.4, 1 point, so it's going, so, hopefully we'll be, recipient of a piece of fire apparatus.
Maybe
Well,
we'll get
soon.
maybe we'll get a truck this
Maybe
year.
we're lucky. We have about profits, a surplus actually, 1.9 million, and there is we did get that, there's a finance packet in here. I asked Paul to very quickly, since he's back, to study that and make a presentation on that, so. There's a fund balance of just slightly over $12 million. Again, that is a timing situation. We got most of our revenue in. We have, 4 months to go, so that's, we have $1.6 million deficit budget. So, right now, we're at 1.9, we're like $3.5 million, which is good, but we figured $900,000 per month. That'll be gone in no time. We went over, and in lieu of that, or in view of that, we looked at the capital projects. We want to take a look at what was running over, what was running under. A lot of the reserves we've had, a lot of the savings we've had over there has been the fact that we've been running under with some of those projects. They ran under what they anticipated to be. Well, it's going the other way around this year. So some are under, but some are over. So we took a look at that just to position ourselves. And then we get into the pension discussion, MMO, as you know, that's the amount that we have to fund every year, the minimum amount we have to put in the pension plan is based on actuarial tables, interest calculations, all that kind of stuff, rates, and we usually always have like a year behind. You get the results as of like January 1st of a certain year, and then you book that amount by next year. We don't have the most recent, so we've estimated, we've come up with an estimate on prior January's totals, but we do have to do something. We have some time to react yet, before the end of this year, before November, but what I would like to do is make a motion that we at least approve the current estimate of $913,968. And that's based on all the current stuff, based on the January 2017 calculation. but we have time to amend that if, we get the number before the end of the year. So, but that's a minimum, that's what we'd like to get in, we'd like to get that approved tonight. So I'll make a
Second.
motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a roll call that, Michelle?
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Porter?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
Council President Moore?
Yes.
We are gonna have, Gerard in, discuss that and see where we stand. We haven't had them in probably for 5 or 6 months. See how the investments are doing, how the tables, came out this time of year. We're gonna be here at the October meeting. And we also talked about considering moving the time of the day of the committee meeting to help out, Phyllis a little bit. She's always crunching numbers at the last minute to get them to us, like the first Tuesday of the month. Sometimes it's not a lot of time, she has estimates, so we might be moving that, we table that to 2020. When we do committee forums, and so they'll determine that at that time. And that was it. That was about all we discussed.
So you're not gonna be on that committee, right?
No, I'm not. That was not the intent of the first. Actually, that was Steve's idea, I think he said that. Why would just look at that? That sounds like a good idea.
Still be on the committee.
You can not necessarily, I mean, that's up to these guys. That's up to these guys.
Would you want to?
Hey, look, you know, give me a time. You know, something like that, I was on the committee a long time before I served in council.
Before you abandon us for the school board.
Okay, well.
And we took him back. We took him back. See?
So anyway.
Like a stray dog, keep coming back.
All those in favor of accepting the findings and administration report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Planning Commission, John.
Well, we had an unbelievably short planning commission meeting, and I'd like to move that council grant a waiver from the requirements of the subdivision and land development ordinance and stormwater management ordinance for a dining room addition to Country Meadows. And I say, and just for council's information, it's just a really small addition. That's it.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And due to some sort of procedural issue to make it easier for council, I'm gonna move that we recommend council accept the time extension through December 31st, 2019 for the revised plan of record for the Metropolitan Apartments. And I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Didn't they have an extension before?
Yes, it would have expired October,
Yeah.
well, it would have expired prior to the October 8th council meeting. So we would have either had a deemed approval or had to deny the plan. So this is working with them.
You think this will be the last one we have to do?
I'm sorry?
You think this will be the last extension we have to give them?
We were told, well,
No.
I'll be honest, I don't.
we were told that we should have a revised plan submission in time for the deadline for the October 7th planning commission meeting. So they got 3 days, 4 days. Never mind, they have a week and a half. Still a lot of time.
All those in favor of accepting the planning commission report, please signify by saying aye. Borough manager's report, Pat.
Good evening. The joint municipal authority meeting minutes are July 8th. They're in your package for your review. There's also some correspondence from the upcoming municipal officials breakfast sponsored by the Municipal Partnership for the Center of Excellence in Local Government. If you wish to attend that, please let us know by September 16th to get you registered. Also, I'd like the council to approve the police department personnel matter as discussed in the executive session. By motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Roll call first.
We do.
I think the motion is.
Motion passed.
The Wyomissing Fire Department recently received a $15,000 grant from Jay and Lane Rosenson Fund and Berks County Foundation. Bring it to council's attention. The Rosensons did not want any special thanks. Wanted to make this donation to the fire department. Discussions concerning the Hewitt House lease are in progress between the tenant and the Borough Infrastructure Committee. They'll be discussed at the next infrastructure meeting. We're partnering this year with the Wyomissing Area School District, working with Rob for an intern. The intern is studying government operations, and he'll be at Borough Hall from 1:30 to 3 during the school days. So we're lucky to have that program with the school district, working well. Also, not in the report, but we have made sure that the school district is aware that the pool parking lot is available for them and available for use, and the pool is not an operation for special events, plenary field, and school activities. So they are aware of it, and the superintendent's aware of it, and it's appreciative of council.
Okay.
The payment for the Pierce Quint has been completed electronically with Pierce Manufacturing. It was taken care of on September 4th. And previously, you approved Jim to take care of the municipal bid, acceptance for approval bid for surplus equipment. Those are attached. And I need council to approve those municipal bid bidding results to allow us to dispose of that municipal equipment.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, Michelle.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Portner?
Yes.
Councilmember Burner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon? Yes. Council President Ball?
Yes.
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
All those in favor of accepting the Borough Manager's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next is your treasurer's statement of operation for the general fund, the Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, the IRA, refuse and recycling, road fund. Any comments, Paul?
I didn't see anything to comment on. I didn't see anything to comment on.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report, please signify by saying aye. Next is the accounts payable for the general fund, Bureau of Water Board, sewer fund, refuse and recycling fund, monies we expended last month. Any questions on the bills? All those in favor of accepting the accounts payable report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next is the tax collector's report from Mrs. Heckman. Any questions on her report? All those in favor of accepting that report, please signify by saying aye. Aye. And next is, we have the resolution number 29-16. Resolution of the council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending the employee handbook. All those in favor of accepting that, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
One second. Publishing report for the night. Looks like it.
1406.
1406.
Oh.
Again?
Aren't we getting a report from Western Berks Water? We haven't had one in months.
I'm checking.
I'd like to let the members of the council know that, having passed resolution, 2019-15, setting that, fee for the, process will now be officially underway in the next couple of days. This will relate.
Amen. It's like pulling teeth. Worst.
We did as quickly as possible.
That's what scares me.
Is there any other business to be brought before council this evening?
One thing, the borough won the Berks County Conservation District Award for the Dirt and Gravel Road Project for Big Chief Cockbird Alley. And Bill and John are gonna go on the 23rd with me and pick up the award at their annual banquet at the 4-H Center.
All right. Good job.
I forgot that in my report because we didn't find out till after I wrote it.
And what's the common thread with all three nominees?
Oh, all three of the winners were projects designed by McCarthy Engineering. We'll sort of
Feedback from the chairman of infrastructure.
What, but all three projects were, all the winners this year were projects that our firm did? We have no vote in it, by the way, so.
Okay.
Well done. All right, any other business to be brought before council this evening? Hearing none, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
It's on there. It might be. It might be.